Hey, welcome back to Rick's Reviews. I'm your host, Movie Real Rick. And if you aren't already a loyal subscriber, please click that little subscribe box at the bottom of your screen and have your friends subscribe too, because this week I'm giving away a free month of Netflix to one lucky subscriber and their friend. I'll get into the contest rules later, but for now, let's talk about the Netflix original smash hit, Stranger Things. Stranger Things Season 3 is about to drop on Netflix next week, and it's come to my attention that there is a number of people who have never seen this show at all, which is mind-boggling to me because I think it's one of the greatest shows ever made, and the best Netflix original show, period. The show's general premise revolves around the age-old conspiracy theory that the government is secretly spying on all of us and does some nefarious shit behind closed doors. Which is such a ridiculous notion, except when you consider the fact that the government really does spy on all of us, and we all know that now thanks to everyone's favorite NSA whistleblower, Edward Snowden. And as if that weren't bad enough, turns out the government secretly experimented on countless American citizens for over 20 years, many unwittingly, in a project known as MK Ultra, which was conducted by the CIA from 1953 to 1973. Yeah, that happened. As it turns out, these conspiracy theories aren't so much theories as they are fact. So this show's premise is not that far-fetched. The series opens up with an unseen predatory creature escaping from a top-secret government laboratory located in the idyllic Indiana suburb of Hawkins. A young boy stumbles across this monster while riding his bike home one night, and the entire first season is dedicated to his disappearance and the government's secret involvement. Adding to the intriguing situation, this young boy's disappearance coincides with the mysterious appearance of a young girl with a shaved head who is much more than she appears. The second season expands upon season 1 and the aftermath of what transpired previously. We meet some new characters, learn more about the characters we already knew, and watch them mature as they're growing up and their interests begin to change. We travel outside of Hawkins to learn more about the scope and magnitude of these secret government experiments, and the monster element is bigger and badder than before with much higher stakes. Now we've got season 3 coming out next week, and it looks like the shit is really gonna hit the fan. Now, I enjoy being surprised, so I didn't watch the trailer 100 times and pick it apart frame by frame. I only watched it once. It looks awesome. I like the direction they're going with it. They've kind of transitioned from this mindless creature to a more intelligent, ominous presence who wants to get into this world and destroy us. But in order to do that, it requires a host. Reminds me a lot of the old Spider-Man and Venom storyline. And just like in the comics, this creature attaches itself to the last person you'd want to be the host for it. Okay, now diving into why I love this show, which is for so many reasons. First off, as mentioned earlier, the general premise of the show is not only believable, but is frighteningly realistic. The characters are all super intriguing with some very compelling backstories. There's also several distinct circles of characters, all of whose storylines are intertwined and come together at the end of each season. So it's kind of like Game of Thrones in that way, where you have multiple main characters instead of just one main hero hogging up all the screen time. Except, sadly, there's no boobies. This is a boob-free series, which is probably the only downside of the entire show. Anyway, the primary circle of characters is the group of boys in junior high. Then you have the older kids who are in high school with their own little subplot, and then the adults, which includes both the parents and the government baddies. I love how the show takes place in the 1980s, because you got some nostalgia there, as well as some fun pulp culture references. And each season features different ringers who were big-time sci-fi actors in the 80s. Season 1 has Winona Ryder, who played Lydia in Beetlejuice. Season 2 brought in Paul Reiser, who had a prominent role in James Cameron's 80s smash hit Aliens, as well as Sean Astin, who played a cute little asthmatic in The Goonies. Stranger Things is kind of an improved conglomeration of other similar projects like E.T., Stephen King's It, and the 2011 film Super 8. While there are a few scenes that are very reminiscent of these other movies, Stranger Things does not feel like a ripoff whatsoever. In fact, quite the contrary. Everything from the characters, to the plot, to the Demogorgon is all very original and incredibly captivating. It's very difficult to nail a show whose target audience is adults, but whose main characters are mostly children. Yet this show pulls it off. Probably because most of the adults who were watching were kids, or maybe even parents, at the time this show was taking place. So it is very relatable to a lot of people. This series has everything you're looking for, as well as a few things you didn't even know you wanted to see, but you're gonna love. Especially if you're an 80s or a 90s kid like me. This is an absolute must-see. If you don't already have Netflix, you need to get it just so you can start watching this amazing show. Okay, now let's talk about the contest and that free month of Netflix I promised you. 2 easy steps. Step 1, tell a friend about how awesome my show is and get them to subscribe. Step 2, jump on Facebook and share a link to this video on your timeline, tagging your new subscriber friend in the post. That's it. No credit card, email address, or phone number required. Just a few clicks and you're well on your way to winning. Now keep in mind, this contest is not just for people who don't have Netflix. Even if you're already a Netflix subscriber, you and a friend will each receive 1 month of premium Netflix services courtesy of Movie Reel Rick. The winners will be selected at random on the 4th of July, which is the Stranger Things Season 3 release date. The more friends you get to subscribe, the more chances you have to win. So feel free to tell all your friends about Movie Reel Rick. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed my review, please like and subscribe and comment below on what you think of the show and my review. And tune in next Friday and every Friday for new reviews on movies and TV shows. Same Rick time, same Rick channel. Thanks for watching Movie Reel Rick.